So today I've been gifted with the privilege of reading words from one of our wonderful care experienced young people. Jenny's now in her 20s and was part of Barnet's care journey and care system for quite a number of years. And these are her words. She wanted to be here today, but she couldn't. But she says to us, "I went into care at 14 years old. My mum loved me and I loved her. That is the truth. But another truth is that her trauma and struggles with mental health meant she couldn't care for me in the way I needed. Two things can be true at once. She did her best and it still wasn't enough. My mum was my first and biggest heartbreak, and even now I am still healing with that loss. Moving into foster care wasn't just about leaving my mum. It was about leaving behind the life I knew, the bus routes, the familiar faces, even the rhythm of my days. Each new placement came with its own family dynamics, its own rules, its own unspoken expectations. I learned to adapt quickly, to read the room, to figure out how to belong in places that never really felt like mine. More often than not, I hid in my bedroom, unless I was invited out, because living in someone else's home never felt natural. After so many moves, I stopped unpacking my bin bags of clothes. What was the point? Sometimes after school, I would have had to stop and count through the homes I had lived in just to remember where I was meant to go and which bus would take me there. Social services often felt emergency-driven, and as a quiet, high-functioning introvert, I was easy to overlook. It often felt like I was fading away in front of people's eyes. At times, I didn't know how to say, "I'm not okay." Instead, I hoped my body would say it for me, mismanaging my medication, losing weight, desperate to provoke some kind of maternal instinct in someone who might notice. Between the ages of 14 and 19, I had 8 placements. Often, I'd return home hopeful that things with my mum might be different, but each time it unraveled. Each time I went back into care. It was to a new foster carer, a new home, a new world to learn all over again. I carried such a rigid idea of what love should look like that I often couldn't see the love that was being offered to me in different ways. At the time, it felt like love was just out of my grasp. But now, with distance, I can look back and see things I couldn't see then. I can finally appreciate the love and effort foster carers and social workers gave me. I want to say this clearly. It was never wasted. Even when I didn't show it, even when I resisted, those acts of care mattered. Foster carers took me to the theatre for the first time. They took me to Oxford University to spark my imagination. They advocated for me to get tutoring when I was falling behind. They nurtured my interests and hobbies. All of those moments planted seeds in me and grew into ambition and hope. But the loneliness of care followed me into adulthood. At university, I was proud to be studying cognitive and clinical neuroscience, but I was painfully aware that I had no safety net. Other students had parents to call, to visit, to bring them home for the holidays. I had empty halls at Christmas. Later, I had unsafe temporary accommodation, where I lay awake in the freezing cold, wearing all my clothes just to stay warm, watching my breath in the air and wondering how I would protect myself if someone broke through the door. Those were some of the lowest points of my life. And yet I survived. I graduated. I built a home out of an empty flat. I worked with other care leavers to create safe spaces of resilience and healing. I completed my master's in global public health at Imperial College London, and today I am a PhD student at King's College London. I love what I do, and I'm proud of the woman I am becoming. But I did not do this alone. Foster carers and social workers were part of my journey, and even when I pushed them away, they gave me glimpses of possibility. This is why foster carers matter so deeply, because even when a child hides in their room, even when they don't unpack their bags, even when they can't say thank you, Your care leaves an imprint. You show children who feel invisible that they are seen. You show children who feel unworthy that they matter. You help heal hearts that were broken far too soon. So to every foster carer here today and to those considering it, please know what you do matters. It can change the entire course of a life. It certainly changed mine. So I don't think there's anything more to say other than let's get the word out. Let's encourage people to make that difference, to make that change. We, as a collective, have a strong voice for our children. They can't always speak for themselves. And I think that we need to, in Barnet, use every opportunity, whether it's in your communities, in your faith communities, in your business communities, in your work communities. We need to use those opportunities to make sure that they understand what they could offer our children. Thank you.